Welcome to Tech Talk. In this series, we're going to be breaking down a whole bunch of four-wheel drive products right across the market to help inform, educate, and empower you all to make the best decision on what you need to get for your four-wheel drive and your touring setups. Welcome to today's Tech Talk. Now, we're in the workshop here. We're going to be breaking down exhaust systems. And that is something really close to my heart. You probably recognize the Legendex brand and myself, but today I want to get into the honest, in-depth discussion of what an exhaust is, how they work, what they do for the modern turbo diesel, and we're absolutely going to be breaking down the DPF question. So we're going to get into depth in some parts, but before we go any further, I want you all to know, just leave a comment below. I will spend the time to answer your questions. Now, I don't want to be sitting here selling a bunch of stuff to you. I want to be educating you. So let's get straight into it and break it down. So what is an exhaust system? Now, most of us know, some of us don't know, and a bunch of us think we know. So number one, in a petrol engine, you have the header, which meets all the ports of the engine block into collector cones, forcing their way to the catalytic converter. Somewhere in between that is an O2 sensor that measures the air-fuel ratio for the fueling system. And from there, you just step through the exhaust into the muffler section, which is very, very restricted, and then out the tailpipe. But in a turbo diesel, exhausts are pretty different to your normal VE Commodore and even your HQs and your Monaros and all the good sporty stuff that we've been doing for the years. So up the top in a modern diesel, you have a pre-cap that normally preheats the gases before they enter the DPF. Now we're going to get into that a bit more later, but a DPF is in essence one of the best pollution control systems out there. In reality, it's a really in-depth problem and it's not exactly really successful at the moment for a lot of engines, but the idea is to get the pollutions out and deliver clean air. From here, you step through, normally there's like a flex pipe or flexi join, there's a bunch of sensors at times. You have your muffler pipe, which is very restricted to try and reduce the sounds. Often in a standard exhaust system, there's a bunch of baffles, returns, silencers, valves. The pipe goes from 2-inch down to 1.5 inches, and then out the tailpipe. And in a lot of the petrols, what you're gonna see is a resonator at the end. In the diesels these days, you generally just see a very large muffler. You also notice a bunch of heat spots in there. That's the muffler restricting the gases, killing performance to further reduce the pollution and reduce the sound coming out. So in short, an exhaust system is a bunch of pipes to get the heat away, put it at the back, change those poisonous gases, make them a little bit cleaner, sometimes with the DPF very clean, and also just reduce the noise to a more pleasant sound for the OE manufacturers and basically them that write all the rules. For me, an exhaust system is an opportunity to express your masculinity. And we're going to get into that a bit more in a minute about what a performance exhaust does. So a quality exhaust system is going to reduce the restrictions by maximizing the turbo spool in the lower range, but also having enough flow at the top end to continue that power output. It's going to lower your EGTs, which again improves your power, but it massively can improve your tunability. Now lower EGTs also gives you longer power for longer. Once your engine bay starts to heat up, your intercooler heat soaking starts to heat up, your transmissions, your fuels, all that, your water starts to heat up, therefore your engine starts to slow down the further and the hotter the car goes. So in short, get the exhaust on there, get those EGTs down, get longer lasting power. Now a Legendex exhaust is going to drop your EGTs by up to 40%. On a turbo back, we're constantly seeing that 8 to 10% power result down low, and in some of the V8s, we're constantly seeing even up to 15% just on the exhaust. Get one. Oh, the big one, DPFs. So what are they, how they work, and what is the law? This is the biggest problem facing the diesel performance industry right now. Something that we're constantly confronted with. Hey, let's break it down. What is a DPF? So DPF is a part of the exhaust system. Now it is a diesel particulated filter. So in short, very similar to the old catalytic converters, but totally different. Now you have an ECU controlled pollution system. In the past, the CATs were just very simple. In the petrols, you've got an O2 sensor, which controls the fuel ratios in the car. Now, you've got about pressure differentials before and after, you've got EGT sensors, you've got oxygen sensors, you've got fuel sensors, and that is completely controlled by the computer. Now, the issue with the DPF is number one, heat. We just spoke about exhausters, get the heat out. The DPF is a filtration system. All that soot captures it up, and about 40%, what's gonna happen is a burn. The DPF's job is to capture soot, burn it, send it out as clean air. So that's a good thing, in short. The long story, far deeper, is the DPF system have faults involved. Are they bad? Hell yeah, they're bad. In layman's terms, we've attached cancer to the car. It's got a life cycle. You cut it out and get rid of it. That's the absolute best thing for the car. Now, it is not the legal option, it is not the right option necessarily. Or you can treat it. You can put a DPF back exhaust on there. That is gonna give it the best EGTs during the burn and normally, reducing the pressure on the system. You can put a catch can on the car. You can put a fuel manager on the car. You can do a lot of things. You can tune it in a way. In fact, just maintaining with the right oil is gonna help. Making sure you're servicing your car properly is gonna help. Keeping an eye on the burning system. Sometimes you can clean them. Sometimes you can do a ton of things. Treating it is a great option. But the reality is the best thing for the car is to get rid of the thing. Now, we're not gonna go into the legalities of it because it just is not even great. It is illegal. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, it's illegal. Very few people actually have the right to remove it. There are some incidences. I'm not gonna go into there because none of you out there except 1 or 2 billionaires own a mine. If they design the system properly, it should work. Currently, it's not. You guys got to figure out what you want to do with the modern DPF performance exhaust. Upgrade it. It's the 100% thing you've got to do to protect yourself from failure. So even with the DPF, is it worth doing a DPF back exhaust? Heck yeah. You want to get those EGTs away from that thing. That thing is dangerous to your car. Get the temperatures down. When the DPF is doing its active burn, there's not a lot you can do. It's gonna be at maximum. But the rest of the time, let's get those temperatures way down. Now, when the temperatures are down, we're gonna see when your car comes in a very different air fuel ratio and a very different EGTs. Now, when it comes to the tuning side of it, the ultimate magic number is 18:1. Now, we want to achieve that. So exhaust, snorkels, intake, intercools all help achieve that for the tuning guys. Now, big power is achieved by DPF back. Saving the engine is achieved by DPF back and a few other mods. Yes, absolutely do this to save your engine and get the best bang for buck. Well, this has been Tech Talk about exhaust, one of the most passionate things in my life. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Comment below any question you got. I will sit there and answer it as honestly and open as possible. If you've enjoyed it, stay tuned to the next few episodes because we've got a ton of stuff coming up and I'm really excited about all things 4-wheel drive.